This is the Anker SOLIX C300. The most surprising thing about it is how quickly it takes the stress out of keeping everything powered. I stopped thinking about outlets and just enjoyed my trip, and that is the kind of difference you feel immediately. It is a compact portable power station made for people who move around a lot but still want reliable power. If you camp, take road trips, work from the car or a cabin, or want an easy backup when the lights flicker at home, this fits right in. I'm not trying to run a full kitchen or heavy tools with it. I am covering essentials like a laptop, a camera kit, a small fan, lights, a router, and phones. For that lane, it delivers exactly what I need without fuss. The design matters because you carry it and you touch it all the time. This one is about the size of a small toaster with a sturdy handle on top that folds down flat. The handle is comfortable, so I do not end up doing that awkward two-finger grip that some blocks force you into. It weighs a little over 9 pounds. That is not feather light, but it feels like the right trade-off for the capacity and the number of ports. The finish is a muted dark gray that does not pick up scuffs easily. The base has enough grip that it does not slide around in a trunk or on a camp table. There are anchor points for a shoulder strap if you want to add one later. The front panel is where everything happens, and it is sensibly laid out. There is a bright display at the center, physical buttons to turn on the alternating current section, the direct current section, and the universal serial bus section, and a built-in light with adjustable brightness. The ports are all on the front, which keeps cables tidy when I tuck it under a desk or at the corner of a tent. Using it is simple. I press the main power button, tap the section I wanted, and plugged in. The display shows the remaining battery percentage, the current input and output, and most usefully, an estimate of how long it will run with whatever I am drawing at that moment. That last bit is what keeps me from guessing. If I switch on a small fan, I can see exactly how much time I have left. If I plug in my laptop and a camera battery charger, the runtime updates. It is the kind of information that actually changes how you use it. I paired it with the mobile app over Bluetooth in a couple of minutes. After that, I could see the same data on my phone and toggle ports without walking back to the station. I did not expect to use that much, but it became second nature. If the unit was tucked behind a couch or in the trunk while charging from the car, I could check the status and switch things on or off from the driver's seat. Power output is strong for the size. It provides up to 300 watts continuously with short bursts up to 600 watts for startup spikes. In practice, that means it handles laptops, tablets, phones, cameras, light-emitting diode lights, a small electric blanket on a low setting, and a compact fan without breaking a sweat. The internal battery is around 288 watt-hours. Numbers only matter if they help, so here is what that looked like for me. My 15-inch work laptop ran for a full afternoon of editing and a couple of hours of writing afterward. My phone charged from near empty to full several times over the same weekend. A small fan ran through a humid night while I slept in a tent, and I still had enough in the morning to brew coffee with a tiny travel kettle that stays under the watt limit. When I pushed it with anything bigger like a hair dryer or a toaster, it told me no, which is fair and expected in this class. The port selection hits the right mix. There are 3 full-size wall-style outlets for alternating current devices, 1 car-style outlet for direct current gear, 2 universal serial bus Type-C ports, with one of them supporting fast output up to about 140 watts for newer laptops, and 2 universal serial bus Type-A ports for older cables and accessories. I used the high-power universal serial bus Type-C port to charge a gaming laptop that supports fast charging, and it worked as advertised. I also like that each section has its own power button. If I am only using universal serial bus, I do not have to energize the inverter, which preserves battery life on longer trips. Recharging options make it flexible. From a wall outlet, it jumps from empty to around 80% in under an hour. That is fast enough that during a lunch break at home, I could top it off before heading out again. From a car while driving, it slowly climbs throughout a road trip, which is perfect if you are bouncing between stops. On solar, I used an Anker 100-watt folding panel during a clear day. From late morning to mid-afternoon, it climbed from around 30% to full. On a partly cloudy day, it rose more slowly, but still enough to stay net positive while running a laptop and charging a phone. Not every solar panel speaks the same language, so check compatibility. Once you have the right cable and connectors, it is plug and play. Thermals and noise are handled well. Under heavier loads, the case gets warm, not hot. The fans kick in quietly. The rating is about 25 decibels, and that matches what I heard. It never got loud enough to distract me, even when I had it on a nightstand. I kept it beside my bed during a storm and slept fine, while it powered a router and a lamp. The inverter hum that some stations have is minimal here. Durability and battery chemistry are key with something you plan to keep for years. This uses lithium iron phosphate cells, which are known for safety and long cycle life. The claim is roughly 3,000 cycles before noticeable degradation. I obviously have not hit that number, but I have cycled it many times in a month and have seen stable performance. The shell feels rugged enough for camp use. I have tossed it in and out of a hatchback, set it on gravel and wiped it down with a damp cloth. No scuffs, no rattles. The warranty is 5 years, which suggests the company is confident in the hardware. Here is how it fit into real days. On a 3-day camping trip, I used it as the base station for everything. Mornings were laptop and camera battery charging while we planned hikes. Afternoons it topped off phones and ran a small pump for an air mattress. Evenings it fed string lights and that small fan. During a midday break, I unfolded the solar panel and let it sip free power while we cooked. I never worried about finding an outlet or idling the car. At home, a brief power outage cut the internet and lights. I moved the station to the living room, plugged in the router and a lamp, and kept working without tethering my phone. It was the calm kind of backup that people do not talk about until they need it. On a road trip, it lived in the back seat, recharging from the car and keeping a tablet alive for the passenger while I used the high-power universal serial bus Type-C to top off a laptop before a meeting. When we stopped to shoot, I ran a battery charger for the camera and a little light. It did all of that without drama. A more specific use case that sold me happened one hot night in a tent when the campsite was fully booked and the air was still. I ran a compact fan on low all night, charged 2 phones, and woke up to about half a battery left. Breakfast was a quick boil from a low-power travel kettle. While we ate, the solar panel brought the percentage back up. The display told me exactly how long I had with the fan on, so I did not have to choose between comfort and keeping enough juice for the morning. That kind of clarity makes a big difference when you are off-grid. There are some thoughtful touches that I value. The display is readable under sunlight and dimmable in a bedroom. The built-in light on the front is not a gimmick. It has multiple brightness levels and a softer tone that works as a camp lantern or an emergency nightlight. The app is simple and reliable. I never lost connection once it paired, and being able to switch off the alternating current section from the couch saved battery overnight. The way the port groups have separate power buttons helps you avoid phantom drain. The handle folding down flush makes it pack neatly into a small space beside a cooler or under a desk. Little things like that add up. It is not perfect. There is no wireless charging pad on top. I would have used that for quick phone drops at night. The port cluster can get crowded if you use all 3 wall outlets with chunky power bricks. The weight is fine for short carries, but if you are hiking a long distance, you will want a strap or a wagon. It is also not for everything. It will not run a full-size refrigerator for a long blackout, and it will not power a hair dryer, a microwave, or a big saw. That is outside its lane. Solar charging requires a compatible panel and decent sunlight, so do not expect miracles under heavy clouds. None of these are deal breakers for me, but they are worth knowing. Stepping back, this is who I think should consider the Anker SOLIX C300. If you want a compact, trustworthy power source for laptops, cameras, phones, lights, small fans, or a router, and you appreciate fast wall charging, quiet operation, and a clear display with real runtime estimates, it makes daily life and travel easier. If you camp, road trip, work remotely, or want an effortless safety net for short outages, it is a great fit. If you are looking to run big household appliances or construction gear, you will need something larger. I have found more uses for it than I expected. It has become part of my weekend bag and my storm plan at home. It does not try to be dramatic. It just works, it stays quiet, and it gives me the kind of control that lets me relax. If this video helped, please subscribe to the channel and drop your questions or your own experiences in the comments. Thank you for watching.